Hi lovely friends, it's Margaret, and this is a reading vlog. I know I'm 4 days late starting this thing. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be trying to make up for that fact by reading as many books as possible this weekend. This is the first weekend of the amazing readathon. I am trying desperately to keep Purple Team from last place. I have some books to talk to you about. So far, for the amazing readathon, I have already read A Treason of Thorns and Arusha and the Tree of Wishes. This was okay. I think if you like spooky haunted house stuff, definitely read it. If you're reading it for the relationship between the two main characters, it's not really there. We're starting the readathon off really just in a place. And so I'm trying to find a 5-star. I just need a 5-star read. I'm not sure if my current read is going to be it. Will I settle for a 4-star? Probably. Currently, what I am reading is this behemoth. It is Upon a Burning Throne by Arshak Banker. I was about to say Banter, but Arshak Banker. It is based on, I believe, Indian history, based on what I'm hearing about, like, the different kingdoms that are in this. We have the Burning Empire, which is known as such for the Burning Throne. I can't talk. I'm sorry. It's a Friday. I've worked all week. These people give the heirs of the kingdom over to this magic rock thing that sets them on fire, basically. And if they survive the fire, if they are not burned, then they are considered an heir for the Burning Throne. We had 2 boys that were accepted by the throne, but then in an unprecedented thing, a girl was brought forward, and she was much older than the boy, so technically she should be the one that is ruling. However, the people that were in charge didn't want that to be happening because then they would have to lose their power. We are reading as it's going through all of this stuff. It is like a really interesting, like, petty kingdom squabbles while also having like gods and demigods in it. I'm enjoying it. It's really interesting what's going on. This is a perfect example of how I go into fantasy books and I just expect to not understand a lot, because I still don't entirely understand the way the stuff with the Burning Empire works. The Emperor is dead, but one of his sons is still alive, but that son can't be heir. And I know it had to have been explained briefly at the beginning of the book, but I'm not going to go back and look and figure that out. I'm just going to figure it out as we go. I don't need to know why he's not on the throne. I just know he isn't. I need to go because we have sprints here starting in a hot minute, so I'm going to get on there. But I wanted to start this at least, because if I start it, then maybe we'll finish it. I have a whole bunch of stuff yet again that I need to get done this weekend, and so I think we're going to do what we did the last time I did a weekend vlog, which is we're going to make a list of things that need to be done, especially since I have a whole bunch of audiobooks that need to be finished, and we're going to go from there. Good morning. It's Saturday. Yes, I am still... I kind of slept in this, and then I just decided to go jogging in it. Why get another shirt dirty when I'm just going to be gross and sweaty? So that's what happened. I'm currently on sprints, but I made it to page 299 last night. I'm about halfway through this book. It's very, very interesting. We're in this really weird space with the book where I don't care about any of the characters. They could die, I would not care, but I do like some of them. There's like one that I like, and then I'm very interested in like the politics and the mythology and all of that stuff. And this is like this is way more weird and mythological than either of these 2 books that I'm going to comp it to. But if you like kind of the feel of Assassin's Apprentice or, oh god, like Ruin of Kings, there's a lot more forward movement. We don't quite follow them throughout all of their childhood, but it definitely like taps in, almost like you see in a lot of mythology and folklore. It taps in at different parts of their lives, or seems to be tapping in at different parts of their lives at the beginning, kind of setting up who they are and how like what made them who they are. We have a couple of main characters at this point. We have Adrian's Fate, obviously, and then we also have this new character we've been introduced to named Karni, and I love all of them. We also have Vrat, and I hope I'm pronouncing all of that correctly. That's how the audiobook dude is pronouncing it, so I would hope he would know how to pronounce things. It's very much like a historical epic in like what it is covering. It's covering all of the, like, how we got, but it's also like got magic and mythology in there. We've got children of gods. We've got like just so many different things going on. We did find out why Vrat is not on the the throne. That is, I don't know if that's a spoiler, so I'm not going to say anything. Again, I don't care about any of these characters, but I'm still having a good time reading it, and I'm still wanting to know, like, what's going on, what's going to happen next. I think now that Audrey, Schweit, and Carney are involved, I think I'm going to get a lot more attached to them as characters, just because there are individual things about them that I like. I refuse to be too terribly attached to anyone, though, because I don't. This is an epic fantasy series. I'm not sure I trust anyone. We still have not seen the sister that is introduced at the very beginning that's older than both of the boys. On the one hand, I'm all about female empowerment and like she should have gotten the throne. But on the other hand, her dad, who's trying to currently get the throne for her, wiped out an entire city. Yes, female empowerment, but if the way we're getting it is genocide, maybe no. Maybe that you are actually the bad guy. Potentially. That is what could be happening here. There are so many different things at play, and like I can see that all of these, this is one of those things where like there's a whole bunch of little pieces. It's like you've been given a puzzle every time we get a chapter. Every time there's bits and pieces of it that are like puzzly thingies. We don't know the full picture yet. Like we have not been given the top of the box to figure out. Like we know the pieces go together, but we don't know what the final picture is going to be. And I'm glad I picked it up. Like this is a very cool book. I don't think it's going to get 5 stars, just because, like, well, number one, it's not feeling like a 5-star book. That could change at the end. I've had books that, like, felt like 3-star books, and then the ending brought everything together, and I'm like, 5 stars? But, like, there also is, like, stuff that I'm noticing in the writing where, like, he does this really annoying thing where, like, here's a perfect, there is a moment between Jelani, who is the stepmother, and the 2 boys' grandmother. And Ray, he tells you, and we're told that she reacts to what Ray is telling her, but we're not told what he's telling her. And then in the very next chapter, it starts talking, and he does a lot about that, where like you'll get their reaction to something, and like I've seen it done really well, where you'll have the character's reaction to the thing, and then you'll have the thing described. But in this case, like, it's just not being, it's not being done. It feels like it's there. It's like falsely trying to get me to be like, oh, and I'm like, oh, it's whatever it is, it can't be too important if you're not showing me what it is, if you're doing it this way. So that kind of is annoying me just a little bit. He's done it a couple of times at this point. I have 2 minutes left, so I probably won't get all that much more reading done for this sprint, but it's a good book so far, so I'm happy about that. I think he's handling a lot of stuff well, and I like the female characters are actually, like, not terribly written. I like kind of the nuance and stuff. That I haven't been like, oh yeah, this was definitely written by a man yet. So, points to A. Shock Banker. One thing I'm not sure about is, so both of the boys that we have in this, they do have disabilities. Audrey is blind, and Schweit is, albino. I am interested to see how the author is handling that. There's definitely some internalized ableism from both of them, but considering the society that they're in, I can understand. There's also a lot of ableism coming at them from people on the outside. There's also a lot of fat phobia in this, I'm sorry. Like, just so you are aware, there's a lot of, like, we use the word corpulent in a way that I was like, no one should use that word that way. There definitely was one scene that I was just like, oh man, this is not a good look, my dude. I'm sorry. It's not great that you're doing it this way. That's another reason why it's not getting 5 stars. But I'm not, like, he seems to be handling it, the boys' disabilities, realistically, but I don't know how well the representation is. Oh, this was blurbed by Ellie Modisett, but did Ellie Modisett actually read it? Because a lot of the time these authors don't read the books they blurb. Like, it's their team that does it. Alright, so we've done it. We cleaned the spot. That's where my table usually is. And now we have this guy. And we're going to try and get this guy over here without the guitar. We're going to move the guitar.
Take a look out the window. Spirit goes up as the rain falls down. I've been sailing on the wrong course, keeping it together like I did before. Think that I've said this a few times. Even with that, has it ever felt right? I swear that this has happened every moment. Can I just be honest? I was only wondering, and maybe we could take it to a different conversation. Things will get uncomfortable, but only if we make it. I just wanna say that, but you'd rather take it all back. Although you are sunlight, you stay in the shade. I'm dancing in a corner just to get a space, 'cause I wanna believe that. Ooh, I get lost You go with your day, slowly get closer, but you're moving away. I know it's just a recap, but I'm sure you'll never see that. Rather take it all back. Maybe it's time to get home. Think that it's going a little too far, even after all the white noise. Oh, I still wanted to restart. Give while you're taking my time. It feels like I'm patiently waiting in line. So can we ever have another moment? Can you just be honest? I was only wondering if maybe we can take it to a different conversation. Things will get uncomfortable, but only if we make it. I just wanna say that still you'd rather take it all back. Although you are sunlight, you stay in the shade. I'm dancing in a corner just to give you space, 'cause I wouldn't believe that. Ooh, I get lost, you go with your day, slowly getting closer, but you're moving away. I know it's just a recap, but I'm sure you'll never see that. Rather take it all back. Bring it back, bring it back, 'cause I'm sure you'll never see that.
Is it a disaster behind me? Yes, but you guys get to deal with that. So, I finished Once Upon a Burning Throne by A. Benker. This was very interesting. The ending did things. I'm very intrigued to see where it goes next. I don't know how quickly I'm going to be picking up the next book, because like I said, there wasn't a lot of pull for me in reading the book. I didn't care as much about the characters, but I was very interested in the political system and the magic system and what was going on in the world and how he was working, all of these different pieces were working together. So there's a lot of intrigue factor for it. I just didn't like the characters. There was a death at the end and I was just like, they're dead now. Cool. I don't know. I gave this 4 stars though, because it is pretty well written and I did enjoy it. This is just basically family drama. And if you don't know, most of royal politics is family drama. You will have seen at this point that I did get the desk put together, got everything set up. We're currently doing sprints in the other room because I wanted to use my new desk, and I also am doing stuff that it's easier if I have my 2 monitors. So I have the StreamYard up and I have the thing. That desk will not fit in here, so we couldn't do that. That's fine. I did pick up Cinders and Sparrows by Stefan Bachman. I am almost done with this book. I kind of know for a fact when the next prompt is going to drop because Brianna's told me when she needs the timer ready by. I'm trying to finish this by the end of the night, and then potentially one other if she decides to dress. Originally, the plan was to drop it in the morning, but now we're dropping it tonight. This goes by really super fast, though, because it is a middle grade. The text is gigantic. Look at that. Look at that. Get my face out of the way. This is definitely one that is probably set up for a lot of the younger readers. It's very surface level, in my opinion. There's not a lot of, depth to this one. It's a fun, it's an interesting story. She's in this house that's new, and she's an orphan, and she's trying to she's just found out that she had this whole family that they're all now dead, and so there is some stuff going on in here, but we tried to find a 5-star. I don't think we're going to find a 5-star by the end of the week. I do know I have a 5-star back there that I will be reading soon. So this little experiment did not go as planned. I did find a 5-star book. It was a reread, so I'm not sure if that counts for this project. We'll have to try it again because I do need to wrap this vlog up. So what you saw me read? You saw me read Upon a Burning Throne by A. Benker. I had a few issues with the writing style, but I liked the story. I liked the world. I'm interested potentially in continuing on with it. It's funny, the longer that I sit here with it, I don't feel the burning need to continue the series or even finish the series. I don't feel the need to continue on with this. So this may end up being a series that I kind of just put to the side, and if I get to it, if it fits prompts for a readathon, I'll get to it, and if I don't, I don't. It's pretty heckin' thick. So, but if you like that kind of epic fantasy that has that kind of follows the character throughout their whole life, if you especially like retellings or other folklores and mythologies worked into stuff, I think this is definitely one that's worth checking out. We also had Cinder and Sparrows by Stefan Bachman. it was okay. I gave it 3 stars. Not my favorite. So those two fulfilled the prompt for Mexico City. And then for Sao Paulo, which was to read a book with 3 people on the cover, I did pick up Little Thieves by Margaret Owen. I gave this 5 stars, guys. There's never going to be a day that I don't give it 5 stars. It's such a wonderful reading experience for me. I enjoy the characters. I enjoy the story. It is very much a heist book. I love it. It's fantastic. It's a retelling of the Goose Girl the Goose Girl fairy tale, and it's done so well because it focuses on the servant in this case instead of the princess. And just the depths that Margaret Owen, the levels that Margaret Owen put into this first book that she has been able to explore. I'm gonna have to reread Painted Devils again this year just so that everything is even. And then just to get some extra points in there for purple, I read Soul Eater Volume 4. I'm not ready to DNF this series yet, but I'm also not loving it. This, again, had some of the issues that you'll see me talk about in the vlog I'm doing on this, so I'm not going to talk about it for too terribly long. But I gave it 3 stars. It was okay. You do have to keep in mind that, like, humor is different based on culture and context, but there's just some stuff that I'm like, this doesn't translate very well. This doesn't work very well, especially in this volume. I didn't feel that as much, I feel, in volumes 2 and 3. And then we once again had just the casual sexual assault of a minor as a plot, as a joke. And we're just like, thank you so much for sitting down and watching my vlog. Hopefully this will be up in a timely manner. I am gonna go read some more books. So thank you. Have a great day. I will see you later when we will talk about more wordy, nerdy things. Bye!